Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss.
It certainly did in that one.
You know this. Nothing gets a crowd into the game more than a bunch of missed free throws. That's one of the worst things you can do on the road.
When the Brooklyn Nets traded KD, they got back some interesting pieces, including Mikal Bridges.
Boy, Kevin, this guy was a role player for all intents and purposes with the Suns, a 3-and-D type. But once he got to Brooklyn, he was given more responsibility and upped his offensive production. It looks like he's ready for a bigger and bigger share of the responsibility.
Greg, here we are watching Claxton. Who does he remind you of?
You know, Kevin, defensively, he looks a lot like 80 out there. Similar builds. And Claxton can also handle the ball a little bit. Just want to see if this guy can develop an ability to play facing up to the basket.
And even though we're in the very early part of the season, Doris, you can already feel some teams distancing themselves from others.
Yeah, Kevin, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, obviously, but there are some squads you can tell. They look like they're going to be strong competitors for the title. They are on point early.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other. Well, known for being a terrific passer, he shows you right there. Case in point.
Here's Finney-Smith. And finished off by Finney-Smith.
That's where on the drive, Dorian Finney-Smith's length comes into play, right? Helps him get past and around defenders.
Down low, here's Tucker. And Tucker slams it in.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
And over the years, we have seen Kawhi Leonard continue, Doris, to battle through injuries.
Kevin, he has been a hot topic as it relates to that loaded... load management. But we have to be fair. Kawhi has had a number of leg and knee issues. There is a certain amount of caution you want to take where his body is concerned.
And the Nets decide to take their first time out here. Quick start here for the Clippers in this one. 6-point lead. Pass to Tucker. Lets it go with the three. The rebound by Johnson.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Bridges outside. Dinwiddie for three. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break.
Well, this is Zubac. He's such a team-first guy. You find an open teammate, put the ball where it needs to be.
Driving to the basket. That one drops for him.
Great finish. What a setup. Terrific ball movement there.
Leonard with the bucket.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Johnson, a wide open look. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. The 2023 season, DB, had a bitter end for the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs.
Now, Kevin, it is always difficult when the primary storyline for your team in a season is the injuries and the unavailability of your players. That is what cost the Clippers in the end.
Nobody near Leonard. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Leonard's got his third bucket of the night. Here's Bridges, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Well, that's just a good possession. Dorian Finney-Smith moving the ball. He's been working on that aspect of his game.
Pass to Tucker. Back to Harden. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Coming on the floor for the Nets, Ben Simmons. Lonnie Walker the fourth.
There's 45 seconds left in the first. From outside the arc. Rebounded by Tucker. Clippers leading by 7. Outside Leonard. Harden looking it over. Back to Leonard. Here's the three. Does not find the target. That makes him 3 for 5. Dinwiddie outside. Pass to Claxton. Shoots a 3. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. 3 seconds left. And it goes down 2 points. Harden's got 5 now.
This is just where James Harden's decision-making, his ability to read the floor. You want to concede the mid-range? He's going to say no problem.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
And why wouldn't they? You see their effectiveness in the open floor. Very difficult to slow down.
Launches it. Nailed from three-point land. 8 points for him.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Clippers leading by 12. And here's Leonard from 3. Bridges with the board. Here's O'Neal. Drives to the hoop. That's in there. Thomas with the assist.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
And Doris, we know Mikal Bridges famously traded for Durant, but it's interesting. Durant was Bridges' favorite player growing up.
And Kevin, it's always interesting when there's a connection between the idol and the guy who is idolizing him. But give Mikal Bridges credit. He has come into his own as a star. This guy has proven to be a capable offensive player and is one of the truly legit defensive wings that you have got to plan for.
First team. Now into the lineup for the
We play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter.
Cameron Johnson.
Pass to Leonard. Lock at 6. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Fires from deep. Los Angeles with another miss.
He has that confidence rolling, hitting 2 threes in the first, but he hasn't had one since.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thank you, Kevin. Spencer Dinwiddie has talked about buying into his role. He says you have to have confidence that's borderline irrational, and a perspective that's very realistic. You've got to know who you are. Kevin, he adds that he's not attempting to be a Mount Rushmore type guy, but a talented player who can help a winning team.
That's a good perspective, David. Thanks for the story. Nets trailed by 12. Pass to Finney-Smith. Back to Bridges. Inside. He's looking for Claxton and finds him. Now Simmons. Here's Johnson. Going inside. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Clippers leading by 12. And you know, Doris, Brooklyn's gone through a pretty tumultuous few seasons.
You know, Kevin, there have been some circumstances that were unpredictable contributing to what you're talking about. And now, as a consequence, a lot of turnover on the roster and on the coaching staff. Listen, it's never easy to make the kind of transition they've had to make.
And here's Leonard from three. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Leonard's got 11 points. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Los Angeles.
And just a great job so far applying pressure defensively. The opposition is on their heels with the ball in their hand. Nightmares clamps thus far.
And the other thing that's a lot of the damage coming in transition.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Back to Bridges. Pass to Finney-Smith.
2 minutes remain in the...
And from undrafted in 2016, Doris, Dorian Finney-Smith, now a player that every team in the league would covet.
Well, this is a long wing defender, Kevin, and he's now made himself legit as a 3-and-D prototypical player. And he stayed at it, earned the rewards, and now says, my mom can finally put her feet up. I have made it. One of the great NBA players one-on-one in the history of the game, James Harden, has got a rhythm, and that's trouble.
For three, Bridges. And again, it's the Nets missing.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Here's Finney-Smith. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
And Leonard gets it to go.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
A three-pointer is right on target.
Now, Dorian Finney-Smith, increasingly efficient offensively. Good feel for when to rise and fire.
Personal foul. Second team foul. Now the lineup for the Nets. Number 20.
There's 53 seconds left in the second quarter. And Leonard has it in the corner. Kicks it out to Harden. Leonard on the wing. Tries again. In for his 7th make in 14 tries.
Well, they're calling his number time and time again, and he is delivering.
The three from Johnson. Rebound by the Clippers. They're getting their first look of the season at the Nets in this one.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
You wonder if they're looking to take control of this one early. And when you have more talent, you want to keep the other guys from gaining any confidence.
And it's Harden with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. Only given up 6 here in this quarter. Following this game, they hit the road. They'll take on the Knicks in New York. That's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. With 2 seconds left. That shot off.
And the way they have controlled the glass this game, really impressive.
And bottom line, more boards means more possessions. That's how you build a lead.
Find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. With greater penalties attached to those take fouls, Doris, how do you think that rule change has panned out?
Well, you saw the players adjust quite quickly to this rule change, frankly. It's opened up the floor, created a better product aesthetically. We want fast pace, show off all that athleticism, a perfect implementation of a rules change.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Westbrook up top. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. A three from Leonard. And he's good on the 3 ball. Leonard's got the first basket of the third quarter for the Clippers.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
In the corner, Finney-Smith with it. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Well, an 0-for-3 start to the half. You need to pick it up and start to put some pressure on your opponent.
Leonard, no luck.
Well, terrific defense. They obviously respect his ability and just want to make it tough.
And the Clippers, one of the more efficient three-point shooting teams, Greg, in the NBA.
And Kevin, really over the last decade, that's been one of their most consistent traits. And it's not just because of talent. They're smart about the shots they take.
Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. The Nets have been forced to pivot from their star-crossed super team era. The what-ifs are fading into the rearview mirror. Now it's people like Mikal Bridges that are going to form the next new era. And rest assured, this team has dug its way out of far worse. With the draft assets and two-way talent on their roster, their aim is to remain competitive. Kevin?
I think they are. David, thank you for the report.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Los Angeles making a switch here. George, no good.
Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity.
And another turnover here by Brooklyn. They're scoreless since the first half.
For your Clippers, number 24, Norman Powell.
The wide open look here for Highland. Los Angeles with another miss. And Brooklyn has possession. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That will conclude a 5-game road trip for them. That bucket in no time at all. George has got his second bucket of the night.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Dinwiddie for three. And the Nets miss again. Shoots the three. And it's George missing. Here's Finney-Smith. He's got 8. Bridges. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss.
What a brutal night for this guy, and it is having a ripple effect throughout the team. This is tough.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
And Doris, how about Mason Plumlee? Last season, changing to shoot set shots left-handed after almost a decade in the NBA.
Kevin, this is one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen. To his credit, it worked. Career highs for Plumlee from the field. So much of this is about confidence. Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot. It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
Pass to Zubac. Back to George. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Excellent D from Thomas. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Johnson. Outside for Thomas. On the wing, Dinwiddie. Can't hit the corner three. Three-pointer. That doesn't go either for George.
Right now trying to get into a rhythm, but so far this quarter, boy, he is struggling to make anything go down. Pretty dime there, the kind of ball movement coaches love to see.
Lets the three fly. Outside for George. The shot's good. Brown making the play. George has got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Clippers. Here's Dinwiddie. He takes it in.
Well, as usual, this guy cooking on the offensive end, but right now the other guys on his team have got to step forward.
George with no one around. And it's George again missing.
Well, it hasn't been the most efficient game for this guy, but their team is fortunate to still be out in front.
Back to Finney-Smith. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And offensively, a little bit of a careless toss. You could have used a better angle on that pass.
O'Neal is double. Shot clock at 5. Simmons. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Pass to Zubac. The three from George. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. George has got 10 points in just the second half. Here's Simmons. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Los Angeles on top, running away with it. And right after this, we'll... And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And so Powell will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. In the corner, George with it. And one thing that came from this new CBA GA, mandatory participation in the NBA Draft Combine.
Yeah, more equal access for teams to study various prospects. Player agents can't keep teams in the dark like in the past. That makes for a more level playing field.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Mikal Bridges. And that'll be his third foul so far. And the Clippers have possession.
Since halftime, he has just been in a funk offensively.
And it's Bones Highland with the foul.
Bones Highland.
That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
And it's slammed in by Bridges.
If there's a teammate open on the floor, Simmons will put it on time and on target.
And here's Los Angeles. George, no good. Here's Simmons. Walker in the corner. The three. And it's good, assisting on the play with Simmons. Walker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And here's George for 3. Sinks the triple.
Well, Paul George says, I can answer with my own big-time three-point shot. Go to work, PG.
Thomas, no good.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
That is Paul George, the incredible vertical and the unbelievable creativity.
To the inside. And Simmons slams it in.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. George looking over the floor. Simmons with the defensive effort.
Good idea trying to draw the foul. Very creative, to say the least.
Thomas, no good. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
Brooklyn with the ball. Into the lane. Powell pulls it in. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Here's George. And George with the stuff.
Oh, yes, sir. PJ making it look easy.
Stolen by Highland. Fires for 3. And George is good for 3. George has got 10 points in the quarter. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
All game long, they've had active hands and really out in the passing lanes. And that aggression on defense has resulted in a ton of steals.
I think one of the things that also strikes me is their activity, forcing turnovers, coming up with steals. It has really shaped the tenor of this game.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
On the wing, Bridges. They double-team Walker. O'Neal from long range. Here's George. Takes it inside. And it's Paul George with the finish.
Don't sleep on Paul George's verticality. How nice was that finish?
Here's Thomas. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul called on Los Angeles. Early 2023 saw Cam Thomas just erupt as a scorer, Greg. We were talking about it every game. A guy who was ready to break out.
And, Kevin, I like using the word ready because he was given an opportunity and took it. And he showed us all what a productive machine he could be.
There's 1:26 left in the game. Drops in the tray.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Clippers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that in man. They just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Kawhi Leonard.
Well, I think his contribution clearly came at the defensive end, right? He came up with a bunch of huge steals. He was a menace all night long.
It's deflected. Here's Claxton. And again, it's the Nets missing. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so.
You got to love the penetration by Paul George. He's really quick on his feet, and the defense cannot handle him right now.
And both free throws good for Paul George. Knocked loose. Shoots. Good on the jump shot. George has got 35.
Convincing lead with very little time remaining, and the fans are pumped.
Well, they're getting ready to celebrate, no doubt. They know it's theirs to lose at this point.
So the Clippers...
Watch him closely, up like it's then tomorrow I'ma do it.